What's happening, sports fans? We welcome you to another week of San Diego Prep Insider. Tommy, hit the intro.
What? Okay.
Nice.
I'll stop there.
Nailed it.
Also, Blink-182. I think I messed up. I messed up a couple of the notes.
Fair enough.
I liked it.
One thing that is
Getting better.
One thing that is consistent through all of our show is a decent amount of mess up, and that's okay. So let's go around the room. Christian Pedersen here, the aspiring Manny Machado cyborg from the future, Bodie DeSilva. What's going on, man?
What's up?
Bodie is here on behalf of Scorebook Live, the official digital content partner and provider for the San Diego CIF section. Noah Lacsina, bucket hats, man. What's up with those? Oh, you got to unmute yourself, Noah.
Wait, Noah muted himself. He doesn't know yet.
No, Noah's a good teammate. Noah's a good teammate. Noah, what's up with the bucket hats?
Is that a Hawaii bucket hat? He's muted again.
Yeah, I got it. I got it like in high school. I got it as a souvenir gift, but I still like to wear it around. I need to buy more. I have a Chargers one too, but I just didn't feel like it was a good idea to bring the powder blue Chargers one out right now.
Wear it backwards.
Is that an Olympian? Is that an Olympian high school shirt?
Yeah, no bias at all over there.
No, that's a really dope shirt if that's an Olympian. Oh, wait, is that Nikki Lax?
Yeah, Nikki Lax.
Nikki Lax cannot leave the room without saying what's up.
She did. She's not ready right now.
The dog.
She's a little she's a little camera shy now. Oh, look, there's my dog. This is Moana.
Tommy, your dog is the only one not to make an appearance on the show. So anytime that you would like to find a way to get your pooches involved in this.
All right. They're staying with my parents. They're quarantined there. I haven't seen them since February.
Deal. Yeah, we will find a way to get them involved. Maybe we'll have. Yeah. I can't necessarily trust that your dad knows how to join us on Google Chat, but we can see if we can find a way to do that.
Yeah, maybe I get my mom to do it. I don't know. I'll send a picture in.
You know what? Always down to have your mom on the show because whoop whoop, La Jolla legend, baby.
Yeah.
All right, so folks, you are joining us here to get a way too early, incredibly inaccurate prediction of what the City League football might look like this year. It's a little bit different. San Diego has left and University City has come in. Very convenient that they would pick a light and dark blue team to switch with a light and dark blue team. So very little has to change in the league. Guys, reading it off, we got Scripps Ranch, University City, Patrick Henry, Kearny, and Mission Bay. It seems like the consistent thread through all of these teams is tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of offense. All of these teams scored a bunch last year, punches in bunches. So let's get started with Scripps Ranch. That'll be our first team up. Bodie, you are from the future. You have seen the future. Report back to us. How did Scripps Ranch's 2020 season turn out?
Yeah, so obviously we saw last year with Scripps Ranch, they made it to the championship undefeated. Obviously, your Vikings sailed the ship and took them down. But there's a lot to return. Luke Durkin's back at quarterback. Offensively, Nick Gardenera, I think I'm saying that right, 24 touchdowns, 1,700 yards. He returns. They lose, obviously, some receivers, tight ends, but I still think this is a team that I don't think they'll run through league undefeated like last year and make it to a CIF title undefeated, but I still think that they're at the top of the league and probably a 2 or 3 win team at the end of the year. Or 2 and 3 win loss at the end of the year. Excuse me. I didn't switch up on that quick.
Noah Lacsina, your take on the Scripps Ranch Falcons.
Yeah, so Scripps Ranch, they're definitely losing some guys. I know they're losing a key pass rusher, key receiver, but they're still going to be, going on the back of Nicholas Gardenera. I think he's going to, really step up this year. The one thing about this league, like you mentioned, there's going to be a lot of offense. I feel like these leagues huddle highlight tapes are going to be one of the best league huddle like compilation of tapes in the whole San Diego County because there's a lot of star power. And I feel like Scripps Ranch is going to lead the way this year, again, with Nicholas Gardena and company.
We're going to put it on the poll at SD Prep Insider on Twitter and Instagram. What's harder to recover from losing, offense or defense? I think that probably offense is harder to recover from losing because defenses you can kind of plug and play a little bit easier with the schemes, but we'll let Twitter know. Tommy, you are now officially in this league, so if you would like to abstain, You don't have any choice. You're still part of the show. So your take on Scripps Ranch this season?
Scripps Ranch is going to be one of the front runners. I think they'll finish second in this league. I want to mention Luke Durkin, obviously. I think every single team in this league has a great quarterback. Luke, not an exception. Got good experience last year, threw 20 touchdown passes, only 10 interceptions. He, when you're bringing back a running back like that, it kind of takes the pressure off. So losing a couple of his weapons on the perimeter, not going to be a problem. This is a very smart kid. Dad was a football player and a trainer. So I have very high expectations for Scripps Ranch. I think they will be up there towards the top of this this league, and expect big things out of them. And I agree with Bodie, probably a 2 or 3 loss team.
I think that if nothing else, we're talking about this is also a team that has now been there and has now proved that you can go. They know how to go from sub 500 to a championship in one season. So I have a ton of confidence in them. I have a ton of respect for what they're going to do, regardless of whether or not they lose people to graduation. Next team in this league is going to be the Patrick Henry Patriots. Tommy, you went last time, so we'll start with you. Last year when JT O'Sullivan came in, he you seen great. Hopefully you guys have seen the Fast and the Furious movies, where anytime their car needs a little something, they put that nitrous oxide boost into it. JT O'Sullivan walks into his quarterback room and just had them all huff a tank of nitrous last year. And they started putting up 700 yards a week. So Tommy, same thing this year from Patrick Henry. What do you see?
Well, I would say another big can of the nitrous oxide was a young sophomore by the name of Elijah Lux, who unfortunately, if Twitter is correct, has moved to Texas. So he will not be back next year. And that is a massive chunk of the offense. And when I say massive, I can't understate that. I mean, 1,300 yards on the ground. They put him in at quarterback in the playoffs, and he just ran the ball every single, pretty much every play, because they had a quarterback go down. Let me pull up the stats from that. When they played Orange Glen, he ran the ball 45 times, Christian, for 304 yards. It is hard. It is hard to make that up. That is going to be a really tough one to come back. They still do have Kai Jesse, who I think is one of the best receivers in the county. Big, tall kid, good basketball player as well. Will probably play football at the next level, not basketball, because he's got the body type to be a good, lengthy wide receiver in college. He's going to have to be their go-to guy now. I don't see him lining up in the backfield, though, so they need to find someone to throw him the ball and someone to hand the ball off to. There's still some question marks, and, for all I know, they have something waiting in the wings, but I didn't see it last year. So I think it's going to be really hard to make up. And I don't want to shortchange Elijah, because the game before he ran the ball 31 times for 257 yards. So I think that was probably in the plan. Oops, dropped my phone. That was probably in the plans for this year. Again, unfortunately, if Twitter's correct, he has moved to Pearland, Texas. So I see maybe kind of a rebuilding year for Patrick Henry. I think they'll rise up again eventually, but it's just really hard to lose that kind of production. Also having to find a new quarterback as well. It's going to be difficult.
Noah, did you ever flirt with 45 carries in a game?
Nah, never got past 25 to 28. That's where I maxed out.
Fair enough.
That sounds rough. I know we talked about Kel Pedersen a lot.
That 45-yard carry game. No, it was against Orange Glen. So
yeah, no.
So what's up? And and as a sophomore too. That's a lot, man. A sophomore, and you got grown men compared to you, hitting you that many times. That's crazy.
Small side note. I'm thinking this year we might need to nominate the Cale Patterson Award and just have that be a forever award for whoever is just the most smashed into a wall by his team human being in San Diego. So Noah, give us your take on the Patrick Henry Patriots this year.
Yeah, like Tommy said, they're losing a lot of their offense with Elijah Lux. One thing I want to add, though, is Jacob Cogan last year. He was a nose guard for Patrick Henry, and he had 60 tackles as a nose guard. So that's really impressive. Look for him to give Patrick Henry some breathing room by being a brick wall up front for the defensive line, and continue to make holes on the offensive line as well for whoever is going to play running back next for Patrick Henry. And I think they're in a rebuilding year, but they got some bright spots to really capitalize on, and hopefully they make some noise and play a spoiler this year in league.
Bodie DeSilva, your take on the Patrick Henry Patriots? Maybe something defensive related?
Yeah, that's what I looked into. Obviously, offensively, they were great last year, but defensively, they were giving up 47 points a game. So that was the thing that held them back, because offensively, they really could hang with so many teams. So get that figured out. I know they returned their second and third leading tacklers. Noah just talked about one up on the D-line. So that'll help. Losing Matthew Castillo at quarterback, who had a huge year, that's a tough one, and the loss of Lux. But Kai Jesse should have another huge year. I mean, it's tough to say it's a breakout year after he's coming back from almost 1,000 yards receiving and 16 touchdowns, but I think he can be even better. And if they can get some things cleaned up defensively, I think they can get back to 500 again.
Certainly seems like if you look at a lot of their results last year, they would lose games. Like I believe it was against Morse. They lost like a 76-70 shootout or something like that. I think that Patrick Henry is just a couple of coin toss games away from being like an 8-2 team. I really like what they're going. Even with a, as I move the camera back to myself, hi everybody. Even if you lose a piece or two, I like just the mojo and the vibe that they have there. Our next team to talk about is the Mission Bay Buccaneers. Last year's season started with a heavy heart and sadness, losing their head coach. So you didn't know exactly what was going to happen. It was a little bit of uncharted waters, but they wind up having a great season. AJ Vines puts together. I mean, I was in the room at the end of the year when they were doing the All-CIF voting, and AJ Vines was nominated for Coach of the Year based off of how much he got done with them last year. He's now had a full off season. Go ahead and figure that a pandemic would hit, but Clash Osborne, a lot of good pieces returning for these Mission Bay Buccaneers. So, Bodie, let's start with you.
Yeah, last year you look and they went 0-4 in league. I don't expect that to be the case this year. I think they'll find a way to win some league games. Clash put up some really impressive numbers as a sophomore. 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I expect that'll get better. They will need to find another piece because Evan Aguiwan's gone, and he did kind of every leading receiver, leading rusher, played defense for him. So they're going to have to figure out a guy that a kind of a game breaker, help them a couple different levels there. But they returned several juniors, a freshman on defense. So I think there's some pieces there, and you get a returning quarterback. I'm always big on that. So I think this is a team that probably record-wise is around the same, maybe 6 wins, and I think they win probably 2 league games.
We'll put it on the poll at SD Prep Insider on Twitter and Instagram. Do you love a returning quarterback? Noah Lacsina, your take on this season for the Mission Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, like you guys mentioned Clash Osborne. I think he's going to improve a lot this year. Yeah, they do need to find a piece, but on defense, I think they have some pieces that will, slow down some of these high-powered offenses in this league. Joseph Holt, he had 6 sacks last year, so he's coming back. He's hungry. He's looking for double digits this year in sacks. They have Carson Uglum. He had 3 interceptions last year. Look for him to maybe transition and play not only defense but get some reps on offense to be a high-powered weapon for them. This pandemic has been tough on every team, but they still have that wave to ride for Mission Bay with their coach, getting another season under his belt, and look for them to win a couple of league games.
Tommy Morris.
I just want to – I think our old intern Chase Osborne messed with our heads. I just want to say it correctly one time. Clash Osborne. I know. I always
Osborne.
Oh, no, dude, if you go back to the audio of us previewing the season, listening to me try to say Clash's name, it's not even English.
I know. I always trip up on it, so I want to make sure I said it right one time.
I said something like Clash Ozer Osborne Clash, the quarterback. Go ahead, Tommy.
He's a kid that didn't play much football coming into high school, and then all of a sudden finds himself being the starting quarterback for varsity as a sophomore. So I think he's going to get significantly better from last year, even though he did have a good season. I'm not saying he didn't have a good season. I'm saying he's going to get even better because now he's kind of figured out how this whole football game works. He's got 2 returning receivers. Peyton Mall and Andrew Hutchinson are going to be the 2 guys he's going to have to lean on the most. They're going to have to fill in the hole that Evan Aguiwan left. Evan Aguiwan, a great player, was really big for them, as you guys mentioned, on both sides of the ball. I think you're going to see those guys play both ways probably. This is a team that can spread you out and throw it because, Clash has done such a great job. I think Coach Vines has done a good job over there at Mission Bay. Coach Tate's done a good job over there with the linebackers and the defense. So I think this is a team, you'll probably find a way to win, 1 or 2 games in league. This is not going to be the same thing as Mission Bay before, where you kind of walk over them as it was kind of a couple years ago. And another thing too, I mean, they went 6-7 last year. They made their way into the playoffs. I think when you have some success, you kind of, you get that, the vibe going around campus and more kids start showing up for football. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing for them. They didn't have a JV team last year. I don't think that'll be a problem for them this year. I think they'll have enough kids to fill out 2 teams, which will be huge because they'll be able to kind of work that pipeline. So I think this is a program that it was, 20 years ago it was way up here. Then it went all the way down here, and it's slowly starting to make its way back up. So the Buccaneers are heading in the right direction.
I'll just say my last note on this is I think that this will be the best Mission Bay team since Dylan Baxter graduated. That is where I will leave that. I don't think that that's super setting the bar super high necessarily, but I think it's where they're headed. Kearny, the Comets, they have Coach Will Gray has exited on to other opportunities, so they will have a new head coach coming in this season. That reminds me, finally heard back. If you were listening to last week's show, we had talked about hiring coaches digitally in this environment
era.
And Robbie Owens got back to me and said it took him 2 in-person interviews at Helix before he got the job. So I stand now at the exact opposite end of the spectrum where I was last week. I thought that, oh yeah, you can totally hire a coach, just exhaustive interviews in person or in this kind of in person. But after hearing that, I'm a little bit less in on it. So don't know exactly who will be guiding the Comet through the night sky, but somebody will have some decent pieces to work with. Kearny's had a lot of success the last couple of years, turning themselves into a legitimately building up a football program. So this season, what's it going to look like? Noah, we'll start with you this time.
Yeah, so this season, you're going to look at Kearny. You're going to look at the Estrada brothers, Nico Estrada. He's a 2-star recruit according to 24/7 Sports, and he had a great season last year. Good running back, plays all over the field. His little brother, Cruz Estrada, he's going to be a sophomore this year. He had some big plays as a freshman. Look for him to continue to contribute. The returning receivers are coming back. So they have some guys. Their leading tackler who's in the league, Kenneth Garcia, he'll be back. So, Kearny's going to have some guys. They just got to, figure out what they're going to do with their head coaching situation. But you're going to see them on the highlight tape. You're going to see them make a lot of plays and, make things interesting.
Bodie DeSilva.
Yeah, as Noah said, I would expect a heavy ground game. The Estrada's the only ones that carried the ball or returning this year. And even Cruz Estrada as a freshman last year, second in tackle. So there's definitely pieces. I think they got to get some things figured out. And once those positions are in place, I don't see why this is a team that can't have another successful year. And I would think get back to 500.
Yeah, I think that the worst thing we're going to see in this league in terms of results is friendly fire. And it is that I see a lot of non-league success followed by a lot of teams going, oh, well, they died off later in the season just because there's too much friendly fire. Tommy Morris.
Yeah, I don't want to keep mentioning the same kids. I'm going to mention Deontay Coyle-Fleming, another good player. He's a wide receiver out there for them. Like you mentioned, they're going to have to find a quarterback. Coach turnover, I don't know. I feel like I saw some kids transferring out of here, so I want to make sure that I say the right kids' names that are still there. But it is weird that in today's day and age you have to worry about that. Back in the day, coach leaves, it's fine. The kids will stay, but now you never really know. So we'll see who's there in the fall. I think this will be another good, strong team. They've been good for years in the lower divisions, and I expect them to be somewhere middle of the pack here in this league.
Finally, we move on to the new team, the new kids on the block. I don't know if that reference is relevant. Noah, have you ever even heard New Kids on the Block?
No, I'm gonna comment. I plead the fifth on that one.
I mean, it's not a plead the fifth thing.
I mean, I've heard the saying, but not like why it's a saying. Like, I've been like, oh, the new kid on the block. Like, I've been called the new kid on the block.
No, like it's a band.
It's a band.
But I've never heard of the band. Like,
it's like the first boy band.
No, I've never. I need to culture myself.
I mean, not necessarily. I'll hold the photo up of what they look like.
Let's make straight radio.
No, Tommy, this is a video. We've recorded this whole thing.
Oh, this has been a video?
Yeah, Noah.
Picking my nose.
Noah, they're pretty whitewashed. They're not necessarily in your demographic.
They look cool though. They look like
that style's come back in. Like 10 years ago it would have been whack, but now it's like cool again.
Well, we'll put it on the poll at SD Prep Insider on Twitter and Instagram. Have you ever listened to New Kids on the Block? University City is the next team that we have to talk about.
Or have you ever heard LFO Summer Girls? That song, the very first lyric.
You gonna sing it for us?
New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. The very first lyric of the song. That's a big song.
I don't know. I probably have heard it, but I don't like I'd have to hear it and be like, oh, okay, I remember that song. Like
Summer Girl is one of the best songs of all time.
I feel like I'm disappointing you guys.
No. You're not. You're not disappointing me in the least. They started in the mid '80s, so no, it's a decade before you were even alive. It's just more that you are one of the more eclectic kids that we've ever run across. All right, so Tommy, are you in on this one, or do you want to abstain, or can you give us at least
I feel like Tommy would give good insight. I feel like he shouldn't be left out if he's gonna provide good information for us.
All right, so let's do this. Let's go Bodie as Bodie crushes. Bodie's crushing a brewski right now, or what do you? The White Claw?
A LaCroix. Oh wait, whoa, LaCroix. Hey, Bodie, did you get the limoncello
Cola. One? I looked and I couldn't find it.
Dang it!
I gotta keep looking.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw someone post a picture of him today, and I was thinking of you.
Wait, complete side note. Because I'm assuming that none of you listened to all of our top recruit interviews all the way through. / some of them haven't been posted yet. Well, Bodie, been thinking about you, man. Finally found someone that put salted caramel as their favorite flavor seeds.
Wow.
Also, a huge influx.
Christian who?
I will plead the fifth on that because I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it was Jacob Grossman at LCC, but even though I changed my shirt so it looks like I'm doing them on different days, I tend to film about 15 of these on Mondays and Tuesdays and just release them over the week. All I know is the one that I'm posting of that day. But also a surprising amount of chili lime going through San Diego right now. It's one of San Diego's favorites.
Yeah.
Approve.
Okay, he approves. All right, so let's do it this way. Let's Bodie, then Noah, and then Tommy, you can fill in any gaps that we did not get to with University City. I will say this. To me, University City is going to be the dark horse that nobody thought was coming because they lost Gunnar Gray, one of their one of the marquee quarterbacks in all of San Diego. But I think that Gunnar was kind of that weird bridge year because the Casey Granfor's offense and all that worked so well with a deep threat quarterback, and then they tried to kind of make it recapture the magic a little bit. So graduation gets that mindset out. Newish team comes in. I think University City is going to have a really good year. Bodie, let's start with you.
Yeah, I would agree. You talk about Gunnar Gray, and obviously he put up huge numbers. Unfortunately for him, it didn't turn into more success as the team. They only won a game a year ago, but typically you would think when you lose a quarterback like that the team can't really improve much, but I don't think that's the case this year. They have a decent number of juniors and even some sophomores and a freshman that'll be returning. So I think they can put the pieces together, and we've seen them be successful in recent years. So I don't think them overcoming one win a year ago is crazy. I mean, I think this is a team that can get to 4 or 5 wins.
Noah Lacsina.
I'll say this. I think, when you're a team that's going into a new league, there's not really that spark right away when you go against your league opponents as far as, the people who were the teams that were in the league going against the new kid on the block. It's kind of okay, we're just going to fill them out. But as the new kid on the block going into this new league, you have something to prove your first season, going in right away and just make some noise. And I feel like UC is going to do that. I think teams are going to sleep on UC because they don't have Gunnar Gray, but at the same time, they're going to let them know that they're not going to be in this league just to sit down and, let things continue as usual. They're going to come in this league to show that they're going to dominate. And I think they will. I think they'll have a very successful season.
All right, Tommy Morris, full disclosure for everybody out there, because we are a journalistic integrity type group of people. Tommy Morris is a coach at University City, has coached on their freshman and JV teams for 3 years now.
I was gonna just not say anything.
Okay. Well, no, it's
sleeper.
No, to me, it's a full disclosure thing. Is that's how he knows some of this stuff super well. He's not directly involved in the varsity, so we don't believe that there is any major conflict of interest. He's not on here trying to get kids recruited. He's not on here trying to overly hype kids. He's somebody that's really well educated about this program / this. Tommy, I bring it up to validate your knowledge of football.
Okay.
The same way I always bring up the fact that Noah was the only kid in San Diego his senior year to rush for over 1,000 and have over 100 tackles. The same way we bring it up every basketball season is that Bodie is the only one out of all 4 of us that made a Jeremy Tyler mockumentary that got some notoriety.
That was incredible, by the way. That doesn't get talked about enough.
Great.
Yeah, so we all have our disclaimers and our areas of expertise. So Tommy, fill us in.
Here comes the hottest take probably of the whole preseason predictions we're about to do. The best quarterback in the league is Ethan Moore, who's the quarterback at University City.
Tell me more.
He played a little bit
Yes,
last year.
Bodie got it.
Obviously Gunnar Gray, being the senior, and putting up the numbers he did, he rightfully was a starter. But Ethan is going to be the best quarterback in this league, and probably the best quarterback. Now, I will say this too: he's going to be the best quarterback in Division IV, and I think he probably could be the best quarterback in a lot of divisions. He's a very, very good athlete. Can beat you with his arm and his legs. I'm just going to say that right now. And then University City also, coupled with that, is going to have the best offensive line in the league. They had a bunch of guys make first and second team in the more difficult, quote unquote, more difficult league last year. After coming into this league this year, I want to highlight Ryan Than, who I think will be the best center in the league, and then Aiden Nuskowitz, who's first team all Eastern League last year. And so obviously in this league, he's going to be probably one of the best linemen as well. So they do a great job on the line. They got a great quarterback. They have some receivers that you haven't heard of yet that I will not tell you the names yet because I want them to earn it. But you will be surprised with how well this runs. And again, I will say one more time, Ethan Moore is going to be the best quarterback in this division.
For those of you that were wondering what this motion was, that was me fanning the flames of Tommy Morris's hot takery.
I'm getting them up.
Okay, so side note to any University City season, for those of you that missed it, I believe it was this past year, everything kind of merges together. Ryan Price, their head coach, pulled the biggest boss move I've seen in a minute. And at halftime of homecoming, proposed to his then girlfriend, now fiance, and potentially wife. I don't know what is all going on in the world. I would just like to see if the stakes can get raised, and I would like to see a gender.
Wedding?
Well, no,
maybe a wedding at halftime.
I was gonna say either a wedding at halftime, or eventually down the road maybe a gender reveal for a baby. Like the team comes running out, like busts through the big paper, and like some sort of smoke goes flying up. It's either pink or blue.
Ooh, I like that.
That's a good idea.
Tommy, let's go into business.
Okay. Oh, we can talk. We'll talk offline.
Well, close the business. 60-40 my way. Coach Price, Family Price, if you guys want to help us out and come on to discuss options. Man, it's going to be a good season for all of these teams. We really appreciate you guys sticking around with all of our nonsense, and let us know if you like the video version of this or not. Any closing notes, guys? How's the week been?
Did we forget a team?
Did we?
I think we hit 5.
Okay.
No, Tommy, did we forget somebody?
Did we forget Sarah?
I don't see Sarah in this league.
Oh, never mind. I apologize.
I see Sarah in.
Oh, no, my fault. They're in Central League. I apologize. That's on me. It's my fault.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
You're just eager for.
Friday.
Next week we do Central League. Tommy's very eager to talk about the Conquistadors. I guess we know who Tommy's in early on the bandwagon now. Tip your pitch as much. Noah, how's Operation Get Swole going?
Good, man. I started jump roping every day.
Okay.
Jump rope is like 10 minutes of jump rope in the morning and then 10 minutes of jump rope at the end of my workout. That's made a huge difference. I've been playing a lot of COD lately too. Some Warzone. I feel like I'm really out at war with my friends. So that's
why we've seen less of you on the show lately.
Not gonna lie, I get my reps in on my road to the show, but for Warzone, it's like okay. So you know how Fortnite's is squads, right? So in Fortnite, you have the 4-on-4. It's like whatever squad wins. It's the same thing, but you take away like the building and all that, and it's real war. It's real war with vehicles. You could go in the chopper. You could go in a car. You could do it all. It's crazy. You could call in airstrikes. I feel like I'm really like on a mission, like Zero Dark 30 type.
So I'm going to put it on the poll at SD Prep Insider. Is Call of Duty Warzone your new jam, Zero Dark 30 style?
Yeah. And at night, if you got the headset on, you got the TV full blast, everything's turned off, but you're just the screen, and then like you're like, okay, I'm just gonna hide out. I'm hiding out, and you're looking, and then boom, a grenade blows up out of nowhere. You're like, oh, man, give me nightmares, man. It's crazy.
Thanks for that, Noah. Really appreciate you made it so close to going an entire show without swearing. I suppose we don't have to worry about it anymore, but Bodie, what you been up to, man? How's the dog?
She's good. Riding my bike every day. It's been sunny for the most part, so it's been good. Playing some show a little bit. Still not winning online because I can't figure out how to hit.
Dude, get at me, man. We got to play some games in our in our season.
Don't swing. Don't even swing until they throw you a strike.
I know. I tell myself that, and then once the game starts, it changes.
Yep.
You're talking to someone who led his team in strikeouts.
I'll give you a show tip real quick.
The camera angle thing doesn't work.
At the beginning of every at-bat, I have a zone where I want him to throw the ball. And until I get 2 strikes on me, if they don't throw it to that zone, I'm not swinging. Even if it's like if I think it's a strike or not, if it's not in that one spot, I won't swing. And then if it's 2 strikes, if it's 2 strikes, then that's not playing anything today. But I always look out, okay, first strikes to throw this. 2 strikes, likes to throw this. Do every pitch, but first and 2 strikes pitch, those are the 2 and then by like the ding, it's ding or it's time. So I hope that helped.
It doesn't work for me because I still don't know where the ball is going.
I know.
Out the hand, dude. I just hit the window right here. I'm telling you, it's like real life.
When I play the show, I have my face so close to the screen, I'm pretty sure I'm losing vision every 3 seconds.
Wait, what?
Really quick, in case I was right, I just want to mention from Sarah really quickly, going to have the best rushing team in this league. If they're in this league, Ellison and Longo combined for 28 rushing touchdowns last season. They're both back, just in case. Also, what have I been up to?
Tommy, is this what you look like when you're playing this show? Are you? Hello? Can you see me?
I think Christian's got quieter.
No, because I use this mic, not my camera mic. So yeah, but go ahead, Tommy. What you been up to?
Yeah, I busted out my old Xbox and brought back the old NCAA 14, and I created myself. I didn't realize how big of a loser I was back in 2013 because I made a really, really good, very, very realistic looking version of myself. I don't know how long it took me to do that because I don't really remember, but it looks perfect.
That was very accurate.
No, that looked.
And then you do the mode where you're in high school, and I apparently I also had made every single team that I played in high school so that I could play an accurate high school schedule. And the uniform even looks
wait. All that stuff you sent us last night was from way back in the day, not from like last night?
No, I did that in 2013.
Oh, you were Tommy, you were in college when that happened.
Yeah, I still made it when I was in college.
But for high school,
everyone did that.
You have to, Christian. You have to because on the road to glory, you have to start in high school. You have to play 10 games in high school, and then you get recruited, and then you
like about it too. This team at which one more interested in which one has the best coach. I really thinking about it when I was in the NCAA. That was one of the best ever.
Yeah. So yeah, Christian, you have to do. You have no choice. You have no way around it. You have to do high school first.
Fair enough. Most of my video game isms in college were Halo or MLB Halo or Skyrim because I have 0 life or social skills or ability. Folks, thank you very much for sticking around. We will talk to you next week with a little bit of.
I've officially entered that part of quarantine where I have like a random utensil that I don't know how long it's been here or why it's here.
Caleb,
I don't know what I was eating. I think I was eating peanut butter with this. Yeah, I was eating peanut butter with this.
Are you starting to? Okay, well, we'll put it spoons and plate. Are you starting to find random spoons and plates around your house?
A spoonful of peanut butter is my favorite snack. Fun fact.
Chunky or smooth?
Oh, it has to be chunky.
Peanut butter banana sandwich with
that's also good too.
Toast the bread.
No, you know what you do? You take out No, here's the trick. You take out like a fourth of the banana, you put the peanut butter inside, and then you put the other fourth you took out and you put it back on. So it looks like a banana, but it's got peanut butter in it. I'll show you how to do it one day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I eat a peanut butter banana sandwich like every day almost.
Those are good.
So I'm gonna try that.
I'll show you how to do it. You just take like, like bananas have like a little thing at the top where you can take like a fourth of it out.
Yeah.
You do it carefully. You do that and you just put the peanut butter, you replace the banana back in where it was, and you can eat it by itself.
Okay, that makes sense. I get what you're saying. You just
now?
dip it. You just cover every banana like with the peanut butter.
No. So you can you take you don't have to cut the banana, but you can break a banana into fours if you like poke the top of it.
Okay.
Like it'll break off into a four, so the whole thing's gone. So it's almost like a little boat.
Oh.
And then in the boat you put peanut butter in it, and then you take the part that you took out and put it back on.
Okay.
That's next level.
That's like it's like an art project, but I like it.
Yeah, but dude, someone's gonna see you do that once, you're gonna be like, oh, dude, it's a big life hack. I'm telling you, man.
I'm excited. I'm about to make one right now.
There are several polls from that.
There
are several polls from that entire conversation up on SD Prep Insider. I won't even list them off here on air. Just go ahead and follow us. I'm sorry, Ruben Pena, if we've confused the hell out of you as to what our show is, because you obviously never watched the show, but it's all good. Folks. Oh, man. Really appreciate you guys for sticking around, watching all this. Really appreciate all of you guys, my hosts, Tommy Morris, Noah Lacsina, and Bodie DeSilva. Bodie, once again, is here on behalf of Scorebook. Flatten that curve. The top of Noah's hands say. Flatten that curve, and let's reopen this. Actually, technically, Bodie, you're from the future. Do we make it through this?
We do.
All right. Fair enough, folks. You heard it there. Thank you. We will breaking news. Bodie has come back from the future, and we all made it through. We'll talk to you later, sports fans.
Yes, sir, Steve.